Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Medical College of Wisconsin's first virtual Employee Service Awards program. During today's program, we will be recognizing those employees who have completed 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45 years of service. At this time, I will introduce MCW's President and CEO, Dr. John R. Raymond Sr., to begin today's recognition program.
Thank you, Katie. Today, we celebrate MCW's 38th Annual Employee Service Awards program. Our celebration this year is very different than in past years because we celebrate with you virtually due to the shared threat of the COVID-19 pandemic that has echoed throughout the world and forced us to learn, work, and live differently. Today's a day in which we recognize and honor those MCW employees who've completed service year milestones. And this event is our way of saying thank you to these remarkable individuals who reflect the diverse and inclusive workforce at MCW. Together, our honorees represent 5,995 years of cumulative service in support of MCW's programs, missions, and goals. And each of our employees contributes to MCW's missions of education, research, patient care, and community engagement in deeply personal ways. Their stories are countless, and their impact is immeasurable. Their efforts and accomplishments keep MCW at the forefront of achievement and excellence, helping to ensure that we can continue to improve the health of the communities that we serve. It's the teamwork of all MCW employees, including those that we honor and recognize today, that makes our communities healthier and more fulfilling places to live and to work. And congratulations to all of you for your commitment and dedication. Your excellence, energy, and innovation of all of our people of MCW have propelled us to create knowledge that is driving better health in the region, the state, and far beyond. Thank you for helping MCW pioneer pathways to a healthier world. Now this year we're pleased to recognize 224 staff who've completed 5 years of service at MCW, 105 staff members who've completed 10 years of service, and 72 staff members who've completed 15 years of service at MCW. The names of those honorees are being displayed on your screen. July 2020 marked my completion of a decade as MCW's president and CEO. And I'd like to share just a few brief remarks that these past 10 years have meant to me. We've accomplished many wonderful things. Regional campuses, our pharmacy school, the Thrive On initiative, our recommitment to Central City, Milwaukee, CTSA 3 different times since I've been here. But the best part of MCW is our amazing people. It's all of you. And all of you have risen to the challenges of COVID-19 and have served MCW, our stakeholders, and our communities with distinction. I'm so very proud to be one of you. And thanks to each and to all of you for all that you do. And I'd like to personally congratulate all of the 5, 10, and 15-year honorees, and I hope to see you all again at the event, in person, in 5 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Raymond. We will now recognize MCW's 20 through 45-year honorees. Honorees will be recognized by department.
When reflecting on how to best capture the essence of Patty Confer, what comes to mind is rock star. Patty's colleagues describe her as funny, kind, conscientious, dependable, and a resilient leader. These attributes describe the kind of person who has a positive influence on others, which is the heart and soul of Patty. Today we celebrate Patty's many accomplishments and extend our gratitude and heartfelt thanks for her valuable contributions to MCW for 3 decades. Throughout her 30 years here at MCW, Laurel, or as we know her, Sam, Halstead, has been a tremendous asset. She's very dedicated to our students, brings passion to financial aid, and she makes sure our students' best interests are represented. She cares deeply about our students and her coworkers, and her attention to detail is unmatched. I would like to thank Sam for her excellence in customer service and commitment that she brings every day on the job.
Way to go, Jim, or Jimbo as he's called by the many medical students he taught how to use biochem and biophysical techniques in our lab during the summer research program over the years. He's a co-author on scores of articles published by the lab, although his direct supervisor is Dr. Stowe. Jim also works closely with Drs. Kamara and Kwok in anesthesiology research. Jim is respected for his dedication in carrying out the goals of the lab. He's an expert in surgery, instrumentation, and mitochondrial preparations. Outside of work, Jim raises Newfoundland dogs like Pepper here. He's a talented cook and brews excellent beers for our summer research parties. Thanks, Jim, for your many years of service to MCW and for your sincere dedication to teaching and research. John Tesmer is a key member of the anesthesiology department research group, dating back to our foundational studies of cardiac effects of anesthetic agents. He has performed surgical preps on species large and small, has authored 27 papers, has mastered the intricacies of the purchasing and accounting systems, routinely performs miracles of finding the best deals from vendors, and is the essential glue that keeps our lab research program operating efficiently. Congratulations on 35 years, John.
We're here to celebrate Michael Petrakis, who's been in the Department of Biochemistry and with the Medical College of Wisconsin for the last 25 years. Michael's service to the department has been extraordinary and to the Medical College. In the last 5 years, Michael's played a primary role in really running most of the samples on the mass spectrometers down at the Biomedical Mass Spectrometry Center. And he has just been an individual of the highest professionalism and thoughtfulness, and we are thrilled to have him, and we hope to have him for many more years. And Michael, congratulations.
Tim has been absolutely instrumental to the Biophysics department over the past 20 years. He initially began his engineering technician career at MCW by developing new research equipment for human and animal MRI scanners. He then began supporting the development and maintenance of custom-built EPR spectrometry equipment and accessories in the National Biomedical EPR Center. Tim has been a hardworking, friendly, knowledgeable, and essential asset to the department. Thank you for your fantastic service, Tim.
Raquel Nielsen started as a temporary employee who was rapidly promoted to permanent employee status. She developed her expertise in clinical trials over many years in a variety of clinical departments and service on the Institutional Review Board. Her commitment to her patients and dedication to the educational missions of the college has been a hallmark of her career. Congratulations on 20 years of services, Raquel. It is an honor to recognize Betty's 30 years at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Betty started in 1990 as a clinical studies coordinator and moved up the ranks, becoming the administrative director for the Cancer Center Clinical Trials Office in 2011. Betty helped create the Clinical Trials Office, which grew from 12 employees to 113 employees. When asked to reflect on her 30 years, Betty replied, "It's been a great honor to work in clinical research in each role, but especially in my current role as we built a CTO that has supported our investigators in making clinical trials more available and helping more patients and pushing the science forward." Mary Ann Fitzgerald has developed a broad expertise working with investigators on complex clinical trials. She has been instrumental in supporting the MCW research enterprise in the development of groundbreaking new therapies. She's excited to see these new treatments and patient responses. She enjoys working with the dedicated investigators and staff of the Medical College of Wisconsin Clinical Trials Office. Congratulations on 35 years of service, Mary.
Linda serves as the department administrator in cell biology, neurobiology, and anatomy, as well as the Department of Biophysics at MCW. Students, staff, faculty in both departments are hugely grateful for her support and guidance that has nurtured and launched so many careers. She is always a generous contributor of her time and energy to the betterment of MCW, bringing a depth of institutional knowledge that helps all her peers and colleagues. Thank you for your service.
I would like to recognize Lily Acevedo's 20 years within the organization. Lily has spent the last 20 years of her career supporting the Department Chair of Radiation Oncology, where she was responsible for ongoing administrative activities. Last fall, she joined CSG administration and has been working diligently to navigate an incredibly complex practice structure. She supports the interim CEO, the CSG board, and several other initiatives within the administration. CSG has enjoyed getting to know Lily and welcoming her to our team. Thank you so much for all that you do. Children's Specialty Group would also like to recognize Tracy Hahn for her years of experience with the organization. We have been fortunate to have Tracy as a team member for the majority of her MCW career. Over her 20 years, Tracy has developed a vast knowledge of MCW and its financial systems. With this knowledge, she provides critical financial reporting and analysis to the CSG practice. Her financial skills are only outshone by the positive and welcoming demeanor she greets you with each day. Thank you, Tracy, for all that you do.
In her 20 years of service at MCW, Debbie Dye has applied her expertise as a coordinator and administrative assistant to multiple programs and at least 14 different research studies. Her upbeat attitude, love of special projects, inherent flexibility, and commitment to success makes her an asset to any team.
Milwaukee was the first city that Wei Hong Jin came to when he arrived in the United States from China. Milwaukee is his home away from home due to the hometown feel, friendly people, and being a basketball fan, the Milwaukee Bucks are also a draw. Attending Marquette, he received a master's in computing, after which he joined MCW, working first in the Human and Molecular Genetics Center, and for the last 10 years, it's been my pleasure in the CTSI. I've had the pleasure to be his manager and consider him a good friend. Congratulations on 20 years and many more to come.
It is my privilege today to recognize Shar's 20 years of service at MCW. I have known Shar for just about a year, and it was interesting to note that she was the first hire in CTSI's clinical trial office. 6 years fast forward today, she still shows the same commitment and dedication to her work and passion. Shar's positivity and can-do attitude has been a great inspiration for our team. I'm honored to be her manager, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with her both as a colleague and as a partner in driving MCW and CTSI's mission for conducting high-quality clinical trials in Southeast Wisconsin. Thank you, Shar, for all you do.
Tamara Fabian began her career with MCW in August of 2000. Her position on the payment posting team has not changed, just like Tamara's commitment to quality work and helping others. Tamara's versatility with insurance payers, an eye for detail, and savviness with computers are a true asset to the success of our team. With gratitude, congratulations to you on 20 years of service with MCW. Congratulations, Shelley, on 20 years with MCW. As we hear of many other CPS team members being celebrated today, Shelley, too, has seen several evolutions of our department during her 2 decades of service. Paper charts that could stretch for miles if laid end to end, illegible signatures, and notes in the margins of inpatient records. Fast forward to today, and Shelley is working primarily remote and paperless. Shelley passed through many office moves and on-site relocations, the 2007 go-live of Epic, ICD-10, and the ever-changing CMS guidelines of documentation and billing in the academic setting. To say Shelley has weathered the changes wonderfully is an understatement. Shelley is an exceptional team member and coding specialist and an even better doting grandmother. Thank you, Shelley, and fingers crossed for another 20 years. Over 20 years ago, MCW hired Cheryl Marinich with years of experience with Anthem. Cheryl has worked in a few different areas with CPS, from working on the workers' comp team and switching back to Anthem follow-up. Cheryl started as a rep too and was quickly promoted to a senior. Cheryl's knowledge with both workers' comp and Anthem has been a great asset, and we are overjoyed to have her on the team. She is hardworking, and her work is always current. Cheryl and her husband love to go out to a few local places after work and the Brewer games, so they are definitely eager for the coronavirus pandemic to be over. Cheryl is also an involved grandmother and is known for making her grandkids' Halloween costumes. Such a talent. Cheryl, your daily contributions do make the difference. Thank you for your 20 years of service to the Medical College of Wisconsin. Congratulations, Alice, on 20 years with MCW. Alice joined MCW as a coding specialist assigned to the Department of Medicine in the role of inpatient abstractor. Alice, like so many others in our organization, has seen immense change happen during her 2 decades of service. From pushing a mail cart towering with charts from the medical records department over to her cubicle, as well as physically sitting in inpatient units to abstract extended hospital stay services, to the current state of a remote, paperless environment. Alice's commitment to the Department of Medicine, however, has not changed, and she remains a dedicated member of the CPS team. Outside of work, Alice has 2 children that still keep her on the move, along with her pets. She is an avid Admirals fan and enjoys listening to live local bands and collecting various penguin-related tchotchkes. Alice, thank you for your time and commitment to CPS and the abstraction team. 20 years ago, MCW hired a wonderful woman with years of experience with Anthem. Patricia, lovingly known as Patty, has devoted her MCW career to improving the Anthem Insurance follow-up team to be as efficient as possible. Patty has worked her way up from a Rep 2 to a senior and is now a lead on the team. Patty's leadership skills, knowledge, and her sense of humor have been invaluable to her leaders and the team over the years. When Patty is not working hard, you know that she is visiting with her children or at their house helping out with the grandkids. Thank goodness for wine, right, Patty? Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication for the last 20 years of service to the Medical College of Wisconsin. Kudos to you, Nicole, on 20 years of service with MCW and CPS. Nicole joined in November of 2000 as a member of the data entry team. After working her way up to a lead position within data entry, Nicole took an opportunity to join the coding team in 2008, and thankfully for us, has never looked back. Nicole is a dedicated inpatient coding specialist for several of our specialty services, including primarily cardiovascular medicine, pulmonary, and plastic surgery. Nicole is well-versed in abstraction and always willing to jump in to assist her teammates. When on-site, one can often hear her pro-Bears banter, critique of the latest Brewers game, or the unmistakable clink of the mason jars she shares of her homemade pickles. Nicole, thank you for your dedication to CPS and the abstraction team over the last 20 years. We are so grateful to have you on our team. Kimberly Dowie does an exceptional job on the CPS reconciliation team. She has a brilliant mind and is a whiz with spreadsheets. Trying to reconcile payments in 3 different billing systems is not easy, yet Kimberly tackles reconciliation with determination and incredible organization. She's a valuable team member with a warm smile and a positive demeanor. Congratulations on 25 years of outstanding service. Valerie is an outstanding team lead for the HMO follow-up team. She does an amazing job monitoring, assisting, and mentoring this team. It can be said with 100% certainty that the team functions as smooth as it does because Valerie is a part of it. We are looking forward to many more years working alongside her. Congratulations on 25 years, Valerie. Julie returned to MCW in 2019 after 24 years of service and 6 years elsewhere. It is a pleasure to celebrate her 25th service year as a practice service liaison for clinical practice services, supporting the departments of otolaryngology and obstetrics and gynecology. Julie still cherishes the relationships, the opportunities, the mentorship she experienced at MCW during her first tenure, which is only possible when staff are willing to learn and contribute quality work. She is dedicated to the missions of the organization and cares about people. Julie continues these important personal standards in her current role. Her return to MCW and sharing her time and talent is celebrated, and we look forward to many more years. Janelle has been a significant part of CPS and an integral part of the team. An appropriate description of Janelle's always positive approach is best described by this Winston Churchill quote: "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." Janelle's approach to the people she works with can be described this way: kindness is universal. Always be kinder than necessary. Janelle, we hope you continue to inspire the rest of us to act as you do for many years to come. Congratulations on achieving this anniversary with MCW. Bonnie is an outstanding employee and has always been a pleasure to work with. She is respectful and looks after everyone on our team. Not only is she a team player, but she will take on additional tasks without hesitation. I look forward to continuing to work alongside her. Congratulations on 25 years, Bonnie. MCW is thankful to be able to acknowledge Jerry on her 30-year tenure. Jerry started as an account rep on the HMO Blues and Workers' Comp team. After 3 years, she was promoted to a coding specialist, covering all areas but OB-GYN and plastics. She was then promoted to a lead, and in 2016 accepted the CSG Charge Capture Supervisor position. Shortly after, she also took on the added responsibility of supervising some registration staff, radiology coders, and data entry. Thank you, Jerry, for your dedication and commitment to teamwork. Terry is sweet as pie, a team player, open to change, willingness to assist when needed, and always positive. She has always been a pleasure to work with, and her team feels the same way. We are looking forward to many more years of hard work and dedication from her. Congratulations and job well done, Terry. Gail Lenling is an exceptional lead on the account research team. After more than 30 years in customer service, Gail transitioned to account research. Shortly after she joined the team, she was asked to be a lead because of her incredible reputation and leadership skills. Thankfully, she accepted. Gail is a big reason why we have a supportive and dynamic team. Congratulations on 35 years of service. Diane Ulroyd is a highly effective leader with a heart full of compassion. She began her career as an entry-level customer service rep, and in just 5 years, she was promoted to supervisor. Over the past 35 years, Diane has built an outstanding reputation and is beloved by so many. She is a hands-on leader and goes above and beyond for her staff. Congratulations on 35 years of incredible service. The year was 2001. Harry Potter made his debut on the big screen. NASA landed the Near spacecraft on an asteroid, and Donna Bickle was hired by MCW, and she began registering patients. Over the years, Donna's easygoing and sweet personality have helped countless patients feel more at ease while registering for their appointments. Thank you for your dedication and hard work, Donna, and congratulations on 20 years of service. The date was April 8th, 1996. The Birdcage was the #1 movie in theaters, and Neil Sorensen was hired in the Clinical Practice Services Department as a patient information representative. Since then, MCW has seen many changes, and Neil has moved his way into the current position as a registration services lead. Neil is not only a go-to person on the team, but a person his peers trust, respect, and enjoy working with. Thank you, Neil, for your sense of humor, for your patience, for being the genuinely kind person that you are, and thank you for your 25 years of service to MCW. Lindsay Sherwood has been with MCW for 35 years. Her history includes being a secretary and then senior administrative assistant with faculty physicians and surgeons, which later became medical college physicians. In 1999, Lindsay joined credentialing and has been handling the Wisconsin and Michigan Medicaid applications since that time. She also handles the NPI number updates for all providers and assists with Medicare revalidations. Lindsay is very dependable, hardworking, and meticulous. She is an asset to MCW. Albert Einstein said, "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." In the 20 years Jessica Wallace has served the Medical College of Wisconsin, she has displayed great intelligence with the ability to evolve, change, grow, and accept the challenges put in front of her. Jessica began her career as a claims analyst at Clinical Practice Services and then spent several years as a computer operator in MCW-IS, followed by her return to CPS as an application analyst. She has been a leader every step of the way. Timothy Jones, Jessica's supervisor, is personally grateful for all that she has done as a member, leader, colleague, and team player. Jessica Wallace represents the best of MCW, and we appreciate all she has done as she has evolved in her professional career, and are very proud of having her on our team. It is Jessica's intelligence, grit, and determination that has been the formula to her success. The great coach, Vince Lombardi, said, "Individual commitment to a group effort, that is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work." Carrie Goodlin has spent 45 years, her entire adult working career, individually committed to the success of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Tim Jones, Carrie's supervisor, can attest that she has a commitment to personal and professional excellence. Carrie started full-time at MCW in 1977, although she started part-time in 1975. Working for MCW Faculty Health Services, now known as Clinical Practice Services, in the Key Punch area, working her way up to team lead and ultimately rose to the level of registration supervisor. As MCW began interfacing registration data electronically, Carrie independently studied and mastered the programming language of MUMPS and later Cache Object Script, and as a programmer analyst has written and maintained critical programs supporting the interfacing of patient registration data from both Children's Hospital of Wisconsin and Freighter. Most recently, Carrie accepted a new challenge as an integral member of the MCW Epic Professional Billing Analyst Build Team. This team had the monumental task of putting MCW's clinical practice revenues on the Epic systems of MCW's hospital partners, Freighter and Children's of Wisconsin. Carrie's contributions to insurance follow-up, transplant billing, and registration workflows were outstanding and critical to the success of both projects. Both projects went live on time, and one amid a global pandemic. Tim Jones has worked alongside Carrie for 36 years and had the privilege of being her manager for 16 of those years. He is honored to have her as a colleague, more so, however, as someone he can call a friend. Tim is grateful for the 45 years of committed excellence Carrie has given the Medical College of Wisconsin.
We congratulate Kathy Isherwood on 25 years of service. Kathy started as an administrative assistant to the Freighter Foundation Executive Director, then was promoted to Database Coordinator. When Freighter Foundation merged with MCW's Office of Development to become one fundraising team in 2015, Kathy was a key asset in our successful donor database conversion. Most recently, Kathy has been instrumental to development success. She is a great colleague and strives for excellence in her work. Georgia started at MCW in 1995 and joined the Clinical Compliance Office in 2004. Georgia has a vivaciousness and pride regarding MCW that radiates from her. She is a trusted colleague and a wealth of knowledge about clinical practices, medical record systems, and clinical billing. She can be relied upon to find any information or email quickly, even from years ago. When priority projects arise, she is always willing to step up and complete the work timely and accurately. Georgia's enthusiasm extends beyond MCW as she is a tremendous cheerleader for Milwaukee and Milwaukee sports. Congratulations to Georgia on her 25th anniversary with MCW. Lanice is a valued member of the communications team and works diligently to ensure that MCW websites are engaging and meeting business goals. Along with her expertise in web design and functionality, she always looks for new and creative ways to improve the web user experience. Lanice is an arts aficionado, design enthusiast, and yoga devotee who enjoys spending time with her friends and family. She also enjoys traveling, ziplining, photography, and reading. Thank you, Lanice, for your dedication to excellence and your 25 years of service.
Congratulations to Terry Modrak in emergency medicine for 30 years here at MCW. It was in October when we sent out a message to everyone here in emergency medicine, faculty and staff, to let everybody know that it was 30 years for Terry. I was struck by how many responses we got from faculty and staff who had been here 20 years, 25 years, 15 years, 5, even some that had just arrived like 1 year ago. But the messages were all kind of the same. They had the same theme, that Terry went out of her way to show them around, walk them to where they needed to go to get their badges, even though it wasn't her job. So the theme was the same, that Terry just goes out of her way. She's warm, she's kind. She's the only one that knows where to find things when nobody else knows. And that's just the way Terry is. She has been doing that for 30 years, and I hope she's here for many, many more. So congratulations, Terry, on 30 years of service at MCW in emergency medicine. And like I said, we hope there are many, many more.
Carletta Rhodes has been a wonderful team member with the Center for Healthy Communities and Research. She has worked extensively with faculty and staff to advance critical research to improve community health. Her work has been instrumental in the Academic Primary Care Fellowship Program and continuing education. She is committed, brings her full talents to her work, and welcomes new opportunities. It is a joy to have her on our team. Congratulations, Carletta.
Herman Williams began his career with MCW on April 3, 1995. Over the last 25 years, Herman has worked in the mailroom, as a floater, as well as in the loading dock. Herman is a flexible employee who enjoys working with people. Herman, thank you for all of your hard work and dedication, and happy 25th work anniversary. Mark Andresen is an integral member of the facilities team here at MCW. Mark has worked within the crafts team as a carpenter for over 35 years. Within those 35 years, Mark has shown a level of hard work, loyalty, diligence, and the willing to go above and beyond for faculty and staff here at MCW. Thank you, Mark, and happy 35th work anniversary. During his 35 years, Mark Seymour has been able to watch and help MCW grow from a local medical entity into a world-class research, teaching, and clinical institution. Mark has an engineering mind to go along with his many mechanical skills. He has literally worked on every piece of equipment on campus, and through his efforts, he creates an environment that helps all work effectively and comfortably. While Mark is a little old school, he still calls the computer on his desk the magic machine. He is instrumental in the processing of daily work orders on campus. Mark's time away from MCW is just as eclectic as his work skills. Whether it's working on classic cars, repairing antique snowmobiles, or boats, he is always wrenching on something out in his barn. Mark, thank you for your commitment and contributions to MCW these past 35 years.
On behalf of Jeremy Tews, I have the honor of recognizing Derek Hathaway for his 20 years of service to MCW's Information Services Division. Derek is a confident leader and a tremendous partner. He's built a unique trust with his colleagues and team, and he brings value to MCW through his dedication, commitment, and work. He's earned the respect from many across campus, and he makes others strive to be better leaders, better partners, and most certainly, better human beings. I'm forever grateful for our partnership and congratulate Derek on this tremendous milestone. On behalf of Becky Morrison, I have the honor of recognizing an amazing person, Lori Leishman, for her 20 years of service to MCW's Information Services Division. There are many accomplishments and success stories that I could share surrounding Lori's tenure at MCW, but I think it comes down to two things: her character and her commitment. Lori is someone that her peers can count on for excellence, transparency, and honesty. She avails herself to others without hesitation and is truly committed to the betterment of her team, our department, and MCW. Lori is someone that others admire and respect greatly, and I'm privileged to work with her every day. Congratulations, Lori. We're lucky to have you. On behalf of Lori Leishman, I'd like to recognize Paul Stamus for his 20 years of service to MCW's Information Services Division. IT is often invisible to the institution, and database administrators, of which Paul is one, are most definitely behind the scenes. In the past 20 years, Paul has been a contributor and implementer in important applications including Encore, Oracle, Banner, BI Analytics, and countless other systems. He combines technical skill, experience, and institutional knowledge to implement complex applications and solve challenging system issues. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your efforts in building and sustaining MCW's mission-critical systems.
I am honored to be able to celebrate and recognize Carol Harmon for her 35 years of service at MCW. Carol started at the Medical College of Wisconsin in January of 1985 and has spent her entire professional career at MCW. I have had the privilege of working with Carol for the past 5 years, and she is without a doubt one of the most dedicated and knowledgeable employees I have ever worked with. Carol started in sponsored programs and in 1990 moved to the budget office where she guided MCW through 20 budget cycles. Since 2010, Carol has been with the Internal Consulting Group, working on strategic projects supporting all of MCW's missions, and she has been instrumental and critical contributor to MCW's financial stability and success these past 35 years. I feel fortunate to have had a chance to get to know and to work with such a talented, kind, and wonderful person. I consider Carol a mentor, colleague, and friend, and I am honored to be the one thanking her for 35 years of service. Congratulations, Carol.
I have the honor to introduce and recognize Jamie Went Andre, who has now been at MCW for 20 years and is currently in the Genomic Sciences and Precision Medicine Center. I will read to you today comments from her supervisor, Dr. Honey Reddit. It is a privilege to have Jamie on the team at the Genomic Sciences and Precision Medicine Center. She is a dedicated and committed team member, placing the needs of the patient above all else. And Jamie's positivity and can-do attitude are an inspiration to our team. As part of her 20 years with MCW, we celebrate her character and the impact she has on others. Thank you, Jamie, for all you do for the team, the patients, and MCW. Congratulations. Today I have the honor of recognizing Michael Channon. Michael is an employee in the Genomic Sciences and Precision Medicine Center. Michael has been with MCW for 20 years. And today I will read comments from his supervisor, Dr. Angela Matheson. Mike's ability to troubleshoot through challenges, expand research possibilities, and establish consistent laboratory processes is a high bar to which all research technologists should aim. He is unwaveringly dedicated to the work he does and committed to the highest quality and understanding of experiments. We celebrate with him on this momentous 20-year anniversary and look forward to many more years of service at the Genomic Science and Precision Medicine Center. Let's take a moment and applaud Michael. Thank you.
Lori admirably manages more data, processes, and challenges than she gives herself credit for. She is appreciated for her can-do attitude and truly funny sense of humor. An invaluable resource for the MICWA GME staff, the house staff, the program coordinators, and our affiliated hospitals. Passionate about her precious dogs, currently Fiona, nieces, and nephews. Thank you, Lori, for 25 years of commitment to supporting the house staff and everyone involved in their training. You have made an important difference toward producing thousands of physicians of excellence. Deb always strives to do her best for MICWA, the house staff, the affiliates, and her family. She is the queen of accuracy, note-taking, meeting deadlines, managing timelines, responsibility, and accountability. She is extremely hardworking and takes great pride in her work. Deb has generously shared the educational and sports accomplishments of her children with us as they have grown up. Now Nick is getting married, Josh is in college, and Lauren is graduating high school. Thank you, Deb, for your dedication for 30 years towards making MICWA the well-regarded and trusted institution that it is.
Hello, I have been asked to honor Chris Edwards for his 20 years of service with the Institute for Health and Equity as well as other groups. I am not Chris's supervisor. The only reason why I'm doing this is everyone is afraid of Chris and is currently in hiding, and I drew the short straw. I'll be reading some excerpts of various statements from people clearly written under duress. Everyone is very much afraid. So to start with, Dr. John Moyer from the Institute of Health and Equity says Chris is an exceptional IS manager at MCW. He has served countless faculty, staff, students in IHE, Biostatistics, CAPS, School of Pharmacy, Strategic Outreach Office, Office of Community Engagement, and the Kern Institute. Tiffany Frazier in Global Health says, brings IT magic to every situation. Christine Zeller in Community Engagement says, an exceptional colleague due to his professionalism, reliability, technological acumen, and responsiveness. Dr. Art Dursey says, Institute Information Technology Guru. Carrie Solom in the School of Pharmacy. Chris Edwards is one of the most friendly, accommodating, hardworking, flexible colleagues I know. He is quite simply amazing. Chris Tim always has been so hardworking, diligent, approachable, and quietly thoughtful. Let's see, Amy Hummel in the Advancing Healthier Wisconsin office. He is prompt, courteous, and a true solution finder. Jennifer Foley, I say my prayers of thanks every day for Chris's support. He's basically several Marvel and DC heroes all in one. Gene Moreland, Chris embodies patience. There is no dumb question in working with Chris. He is truly a saint among men and women. Dr. Kirsten Beyer, an MCW gem. I mean, honestly, do these people actually work with Chris? I mean, they've all failed to they've missed the mark here of what a completely awesome person Chris really is. He's a great friend. He's a great colleague. He often gives more than what he gets, and has saved many a hide these past 20 years. Thank you, Chris, for being a great friend, for being a great colleague. It's an honor to roast you a little bit. Congratulations on 20 years. We are planning a celebration, but we're trying to decide what cups we should use. Maybe this, maybe something else. Well, I tell you what, let's meet about it.
I've had the pleasure of working alongside Teresa Weber for the last 10 of her 30-year career. She has worked in several areas of the college, including human resources and sponsor programs, before joining us in the Department of Medicine. Teresa's strong work ethic and can-do attitude has contributed to her success as a financial associate in the department. She's an invaluable resource for us, and our finance team relies on her experience and in-depth analysis to tackle the complicated nuances of DOM's finances and operations. It's my honor to be supervising Teresa as she marks this 30-year anniversary. Her longevity and dedication to the college speaks volumes of the atmosphere we should all strive to maintain. Thank you for your service, Teresa, and congratulations on 30 years.
We are very fortunate to have Lana as one of our longest-serving APNPs. She has distinguished herself as an excellent caregiver and an advocate for our patients. Lana has advanced her career by receiving a PhD from the UW-Milwaukee College of Nursing, which has no doubt led to a deeper understanding of our process of care. She is loved by our patients and is well respected by our colleagues. It is our hope that she will continue as a member of the Division of Cardiovascular Medicine for many years to come. Thank you, Lana.
Sharon is one of the most reliable and dedicated people who have ever served the CIBMTR. For many years, hers was the most recognized name in the CIBMTR because she personally communicated with so many transplant centers. Sharon is a great leader and role model. When she was the manager over the CRC group, she was always supportive of her staff and tried to make sure everyone had what they needed to perform their job. Lastly, Sharon is the backbone to the TCT Clinical Research Professionals and Data Management Conference that draws over 300 data managers from around the world. Sharon coordinates everything from speakers to even food selection. As you can see, Sharon plays an important role to CIBMTR's success. Sharon, thank you for all you do, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come.
Sandy has been the linchpin of our BMT program since 1997. She has walked with countless patients and families through the BMT process, providing education, offering emotional support, and ensuring that patients received cutting-edge care. She has trained numerous APPs, fellows, residents, and staff physicians on the intricacies of the BMT process and care of the immunocompromised patient. She is the very definition of dedication, and we are grateful for her years of service. Thank you, Sandy.
I'm coming to you today to celebrate Laura Mikulash's 35 years at MCW as a member of our research family. The fact that she's been on campus for 35 years is all the evidence one needs to know that she is dedicated and committed to understanding the truth, the biological truths that are the immune system. Laura has a strong work ethic and an innate drive to succeed. Moreover, and I say this with all respect, she hates to be wrong, which in a scientist means she is dogged in the completion of her experiments into how the immune system works. Her continued efforts have been an immense benefit to not only my research program in cancer biology, but also to the immunology going on at the Children's Hospital and the Children's Research Institute. Laura is self-motivated, precise, and unwavering in her pursuit of knowledge, and is an exemplar of the dedicated scientists working at MCW every day. I am extremely lucky and fortunate to have had her join my lab and work as part of my team for as long as she has.
Lisa is calm, steady, reliable, focused, organized, and loyal. Staff and faculty alike respect and appreciate her responsiveness and no-nonsense approach. She has always supported the entire department with aplomb, grace, kindness, and compassion. Lisa is foundational to the department, and the work she does is critical to the department's success. We wholeheartedly thank and recognize Lisa for her dedication, positivity, and flexibility in all that she does for MCW and neurology. Congratulations on 20 years of service.
Jed Mathis has been the premier source of technical expertise in the DO lab for over 20 years, supporting everything: scientific experimentation, grant writing, IRB compliance, student and postdoc training, attending a myriad of meetings and events, and, not the least of all, soothing my harried mind and frayed nerves during all the trying times that have arisen through the years. He is the quintessence of what a lab manager should be and a great friend. Congratulations on 20 years of service, Jed.
Carol is one of the original Spine Care staff members when the program was first developed over 20 years ago. She has been an instrumental part of neurosurgery throughout the years and has worked to develop and refine the ergonomics program. Her colleagues describe her as approachable, hardworking, creative, and positive, as well as a unifying force within the group. Carol's positivity and cheer have affectionately earned her the nickname Christmas Carol, and we all feel very fortunate to work with Carol. Nikki is a dedicated and reliable member of the team at Spine Care. She has continued the mission of treating people with spine disorders with compassion and skill. Nikki also has special interests in kinesiotaping and has earned a special certification in this methodology. She is a great coworker as she is adaptable, hardworking, and adjusts quickly to our ever-changing work environment. Nikki is a joy to work with, and we are fortunate to have her as part of the spine care team.
It has been a pleasure and privilege to work with Vicki for more than 20 years. She is bright, conscientious, personable, and truly dedicated to the well-being of our patients. She is the glue that binds together our section of oculoplastic surgery, and she contributes to the section's collegiality and productivity. Beyond our section, her attitude and commitment enhance the atmosphere of the entire department.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to make these remarks on behalf of Amy Peters. Amy has held many roles within the Department of Orthopaedic Surgery and has seen tremendous growth and change over time. Amy started as a transcriptionist in 2000 and quickly was promoted to lead transcriptionist and trainer. From there, she held roles as a senior administrative assistant, clinical program coordinator, and project coordinator. She is now in an education program coordinator role for medical students and our 4 fellowship programs. With Amy's history and knowledge, she has become a ready resource for our department. To say Amy is organized is a definite understatement, as she usually knows what people need before they do. Congratulations and thank you, Amy, for your 20 years of service to MCW.
David's arrival at the Genetics Division in the MCW Department of Pediatrics marked the beginning of the Biochemical Genetics Laboratory inside the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. His diligent work and planning for the lab instruments and equipment led to the beginning of successful lab operations. David's work has enabled our geneticists to provide diagnostic testing for pediatric patients, not only within southeastern Wisconsin, but across the United States, who have been afflicted with disorders in fatty acid metabolism. David continues to be an integral member of our biochemical genetics laboratory.
Pam Dorna has 30 years of service at MCW, and almost 20 of those years have been spent in the Department of Pediatrics. In her most recent current role as Business Manager Senior, she is responsible for development, implementation, management, and financial analysis, and providing recommendations with billing processes to ensure optimization of charge capture and reimbursement for 18 clinical divisions in the DOP. Not only is Pam's expertise unmatched, she is also so bright and positive and an overall fun person to be around. She's an integral member of the DOP family, and we can't thank her enough for her years of service to both the DOP and MCW. Pam, we look forward to at least another 20 years with you. On behalf of everyone in Pediatric Gastroenterology Division, we want to express our appreciation for Michelle's many contributions over the past 20 years and offer our congratulations as she celebrates this significant milestone. Michelle is a valued member of our GI family and is appreciated for her dedication, efficient and quiet demeanor, and willingness to pivot as the need arises. She's played a key role in supporting many of our clinical programs. We are proud to have Michelle on our team. We have immense gratitude for the steady leadership Lisa has provided to our team. Lisa approaches her work with compassionate dedication. Her managerial approach builds on the strengths of our multidisciplinary group of staff and providers, bringing out our collective best. Lisa is always available and present to answer questions and makes her colleagues around her feel heard because she includes us in decisions. We especially appreciate Lisa's efforts in helping us to stand up our new division of pediatric psychology and developmental medicine. In adolescent medicine, Lisa has been a strong partner to keep the division afloat. She has, without hesitation, stepped up to complete assignments, answer questions, and provide leadership when needed. Her willingness to help, her patience, and her guidance are all greatly appreciated. Donna is a valued member of Peds Infectious Diseases and the Wisconsin HIV Primary Care Support Network. Donna supports 10 nurses employed by 4 different organizations across the state. The nurses provide case management services to very marginalized, vulnerable individuals and families living with HIV. Donna is integral to the program's longstanding success. Her attention to detail is one of her strengths. In addition, pre-COVID-19, we all enjoy her delicious baking and cake decorating. Thank you, Donna, for all you do. We appreciate you immensely. Congratulations to Teresa on your 20-year anniversary with the Medical College of Wisconsin. We are fortunate that much of this time is spent in the Department of Pediatrics. Teresa joined MCW as a research coordinator, was promoted to research manager for the Division of Pulmonary and Sleep Medicine and the Division of Nephrology. And last year, we were thrilled to recruit her as the division administrator for the Pulmonary section. One of her most recent honors was being named an MCW Research Ambassador. Way to go, Teresa. Dawn is an essential member of the Pediatric Infectious Disease team and has been for the majority of her MCW career. She goes above and beyond regularly, always making herself available to help faculty, including me. She provides outstanding support and guidance to all members of ID. Being there for her team is something Dawn takes great pride in, and we would be lost without her. Nobody would answer the phone for the ID doctors. Congratulations, Dawn, on your 35 years. Wendy joined MCW in 1990 as an administrative assistant in the Office of Development. During her time at MCW, she spent 13 years working in the Grants and Contracts Office as the assistant director. She also spent 10 years with the Department of Anesthesiology as a senior business operations coordinator. Wendy joined the Department of Pediatrics team as the senior division administrator for research. In this new role, Wendy interfaces with clinicians and research faculty, as well as their staff, which she does with great ease and a confidence born of experience. She is a compassionate and kind person who readily transitions from clinical budgets to R01 and T32 progress reports. We could not imagine an individual better suited to this new administrative role, and we are fortunate indeed to count her among the most valued colleagues. We congratulate you, Wendy, on your 30 years of service to MCW. Bonnie briefly practiced in primary care before joining MCW as the first advanced practice provider with the critical care team. During her tenure with critical care, Bonnie has pursued ongoing training by obtaining her postmaster certificate as an acute care pediatric nurse practitioner, as well as her Doctor of Nursing Practice degree with an emphasis on leadership. Bonnie was instrumental in developing and implementing our Critical Care APP Fellowship. Bonnie has participated in QI and education here at MCW and Children's, being a PALS and PFCCS instructor, and serves on our Death Review Committee. Bonnie has participated in national leadership with the Society of Critical Care Medicine and with the Pediatric Nursing Certification Board. Bonnie has demonstrated dedication to her patients and families throughout the years and has a gift for forging strong relationships with families in crisis. We are lucky to call Bonnie our colleague, and we feel very safe when Bonnie is on call at night calling this particular physician. Thank you, Bonnie. Charlotte is a valued member of our PEDS Hem-Onc BMT team. Charlotte supports 10 faculty across psychology, hematology, and research, as well as supporting the Medine Lab. Charlotte is an Excel whiz and our in-house procurement expert. We are so appreciative of the experience Charlotte brings. In her free time, Charlotte enjoys going on cruises. When not on vacation, you will find her spending time with her husband and dog Max at home. Thank you, Charlotte. Elaine has passion about the care of children and adolescents with diabetes that is unparalleled and has guided her entire career. It is woven into every day. She cares for their clinical needs and guides them through the difficulties of maturing with a chronic disease. Her organizational and programmatic skills continue to benefit our diabetes program, especially with leveraging EPIC to our program's advantage. She is a whiz at organizing protocols and tip sheets for patients and her colleagues as well. She has been the deep keel that held our program on course and moving forward through many, many changes, including pioneering outpatient education for newly diagnosed patients, changes in program leadership, and constant changes in the management of diabetes technology. We look forward to our program's continued success with Elaine's expertise leading us. Cheryl Schmidt has 20 years of service in the Department of Pediatrics at MCW. In her most recent role as financial assistant, she prepares and communicates grant-related financial data to principal investigators and manages the day-to-day administration of eBridge. Cheryl is the most kind and warm person, which is why when you enter the chair's office, she is the first friendly face you see. Well, when we aren't virtual. Thank you, Cheryl, for your 20 years in the DOP.
Today I have a wonderful opportunity to introduce to you Ellen Lorimer. Ellen was the founding member of the laboratory in the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology. She has spent 20 years working hard at MCW, and we recognize her for her talents and her expertise. She is a consummate scientist who strives for perfection in everything she does. She runs the laboratory with outstanding organization, commitment, and excellence, and her experimental results have provided the cornerstone for grant applications and publications, and it's an honor to call her a colleague. Thank you, Ellen. Today I have an honor of recognizing Dr. Thomas Kriska, who has been at MCW for an amazing 20 years of service. Dr. Kriska has dedicated themselves to advancing our understanding of cardiovascular disease. His creative hypotheses, rigorous experimental design, and critical data evaluation are hallmarks of his research approach, and he is a skilled bench researcher, as competent in molecular biology as animal studies. He is a source of expertise in the department and involved in training graduate students, fellows, and technicians, and his contributions and helpfulness to others are appreciated by all. Thank you, Dr. Kriska. You have represented pharmacology and toxicology well, and we wish you well on the next 20 years. Thank you.
Since her first day of work on the 5th floor of the HRC, Angela Lemke has been exceptionally driven, dedicated, and very hardworking. Her skills and commitment to the wet lab, the dry lab, and the team have resulted in some outstanding science. Angela is both independent and a wonderful team player. As told by Dr. Mindy Dwinell, she is professional, friendly, giving, and has an attitude as bright as her smile. Kristen Nord joined the Department of Physiology 5 years after working for more than 15 years in the Biomedical Resource Center at MCW. Kristen is a valuable resource for the faculty, fellows, and students in the department, especially in terms of grant submissions. Kristen has also worked closely with Dr. Mingyu Liang for the last few years. She has played an essential role in assisting Dr. Liang in developing and managing several research programs that involve multiple departments and institutions. Kristen is friendly, patient, efficient, and reliable. She is always willing to help with any project that may pop up. She is a tremendous asset to the Department of Physiology. Camille has committed 30 years of service assuring the highest quality of work by the MCW Biochemical Assay Corps and the Department of Physiology. Her tireless commitments to getting work orders completed in a timely and efficient manner, and for always striving to improve workflows and processes is greatly appreciated. Camille, we thank you for brightening the workday, for being a fantastic lab mate and friend, for establishing a professional and pleasant work environment, for organizing the Department Donor Club, and for always demonstrating kindness. The department is extremely grateful for Camille's 30 years of friendship and service to MCW. Jane's journey with MCW began in October of 1980 when she was hired into the Department of Psychiatry, and 4 years later, the School of Nursing. In July 1986, she transferred to the Department of Physiology, which after 34 years remains her MCW home. Dr. Alan Cowley, the previous chair of the department, commented that she is a remarkable person whose professional skills have enabled the department to smoothly weather the changes and challenges that we have faced over the years. Her knowledge, mastery and management of our budgets, research grant procedures, regulatory issues, and personnel management are surpassed at our institution. As a new chair of physiology, I can confidently say that Jane has made my job much easier. Jane helped me onboard to my new role and helped guide me through the myriad of administrative tasks and financial models required to run the department. I could not do this job efficiently without her. She does everything with a smile.
Denise has spent all 35 of her years at MCW in the Department of Plastic Surgery, supporting the Pediatric Division, and specifically the craniofacial team treating cleft palates. This is a true testimony to her dedication to MCW, the Department of Plastic Surgery, and Children's Hospital. She has continued to provide excellent support for the care of our patients through many changes over her 35 years. Thank you, Denise, for your dedication and continued support in the department.
Dick Ketchke joined MCW in 1985 as Director of Public Affairs. He was promoted to Assistant Vice President in 1996 and to Associate Vice President in 2002. Today, he serves as Chief Historian for MCW. Dick is a cornerstone of our institution, and in his many years with MCW, enhanced MCW's statewide and national reputation and visibility. Dick just completed a book on MCW's history, which will soon be published. This body of work is a significant and comprehensive representation of the role of MCW and its staff, faculty, and students over more than 125 years. Not only is Dick known for his expertise in public relations, policy shaping, and communications, but he is recognized far and wide for his collaborative approach and his kindness. Dick so often shares a quote that our leaders today stand on the shoulders of giants. Dick, it is an honor to celebrate your 35-year commitment to MCW, and we stand on your shoulders as we advance MCW.
Brenda Albanese Consul began her career at MCW in 2000 as an administrative assistant in the Department of Neurology. She came to the Department of Psychiatry in 2006 as a coordinator for all CME programs and assistant coordinator for the General Psychiatry Residency Program. In September 2020, she became the program coordinator for the Child and Adolescent Psychiatry Fellowship Program. She is an invaluable staff member in the Department of Psychiatry, and I can only add that for all things education, Brenda is one of the right people to talk to. Wayne DeFrancisco, a senior research scientist, has worked with scores of faculty, postdoctoral fellows, and staff during his 25 years at the Center for AIDS Intervention Research. Working primarily as a biostatistician and data manager, Wayne has authored more than 60 publications ensuring essential research findings reach the scientific community. As importantly, Wayne is an amiable co-worker, quick to discuss his twin passions, politics and Philadelphia football, with others. Wayne will have to talk to you about your Philadelphia fanaticism. Thank you, Wayne. As a founding member of the Center for AIDS Intervention Research in 1990, Alan Hoff came to MCW when an HIV diagnosis was frequently fatal. For the past 30 years, he has steadfastly worked to transform HIV into a preventable and treatable disease by reviewing the scientific literature and gathering other essential information for our research teams. Our work continues, and all of it is built on the foundation Alan laid. A secret about Alan is that he has the greenest thumb in the department, and certainly at the Center for AIDS Intervention Research. If you're looking for a horticultural experience, I'd encourage you to stop by our Summit Avenue property on the east side of Milwaukee and take a look at his work.
Catherine Albano is a highly experienced medical physicist in radiation oncology. She has incredible skill in managing the Gamma Knife Radiation Unit and in managing patients for precision treatment of brain tumors. Her performance is high-tech and high-touch as she treats patients with accuracy, professionalism, and compassion. Catherine's contributed to many other programs in radiation oncology over the years, and she is sought out for her expertise and is appreciated by many others. Thank you, Catherine, for your contributions to radiation oncology over the past 25 years. Jessica Kodowitz was initially hired as a senior administrative assistant, and in a short period of time she became very knowledgeable about the world of radiation oncology. Her current role is Senior Business Operations Coordinator for the Medical Physics section, and her understanding of the physics world is exceptional. Jessica is always willing to help others with a smile, and to quote her, happy to help with whatever is needed. I can't thank her enough for her special work converting our conferences and meetings to a virtual format. It was a huge task and a major contribution towards maintaining operations in support of essential patient care. Congratulations, Jessica, and thank you for everything you do.
Bonnie Freudinger is a very familiar person around the basic science research labs at MCW. Bonnie is the lead biomedical engineer and supervisor of the MCW Engineering Corps. This corps provides invaluable services to our research laboratories, including fabrication of new devices and replacing broken parts in instruments and equipment, as well as other tasks that keep the research labs humming. Bonnie is an Air Force veteran and a founding member of the MCW Military Resource Group. She is also active in community outreach activities, particularly in providing mentorship for young students interested in engineering careers. Congratulations, Bonnie. Sue Mauerman has been a champion for MCW's research mission for over 25 years. In her current role in the Office of Research, Sue takes great pride in being a central, quote, phone a friend to help study teams navigate the complex world of clinical trials management and to support process improvement initiatives. MCW's research community is fortunate to have such a thoughtful and experienced advocate. Congratulations, Sue, on your 25 years of service to MCW. Lauren Hathaway is a business analyst involved with supporting every major change and project in the eBridge system for animal use and human subjects research. She has been a key contributor to improving smart forms and workflows since the start of eBridge at MCW. Just a few of the many successes include the changes necessary for MCW achieving AHARP accreditation, centralizing research training records, including CITI and ALAS training, and integrating with SmartForms, integration of reliance projects and research MRI reviews, and streamlining processes for study teams to update study personnel and funding on projects. Thank you, Lauren, and congratulations. Roxanne Pritchard is a recognized leader in the MCW Human Research Protections Program Office. She's known for her extensive knowledge and experience in human subjects research. During her time here, she has worked to establish the Quality Assurance and Quality Improvement Team to ensure compliant conduct of research at MCW. Rox's knowledge and empathy shines through when either answering questions from researchers or making her stash of Dove chocolate to those who pop into her office available. Congratulations, Roxanne, on this milestone. Claire Wenzel is a trusted and well-liked member of the library team. She truly is the glue that holds all of them together. In addition to her winning personality, Claire is smart, resourceful, flexible, supportive, diplomatic, and an excellent problem solver, making her an invaluable contributor to their team. Her career at MCW Library started in the circulation department in May 1990, but Claire has also worked with acquisitions and administration, which is her current role. Her broad experience and strong qualities bring value to the library and the institution every day. Thank you, Claire, for 30 years of service to the library and to MCW.
Mike Passo has work experience in chemistry, biology, finance, IT, and patient services. Prior to MCW, he worked for a biotech company in San Diego. He holds 4 degrees, including 1 in health sciences. When not at work, Mike spends time with his large family in Door County, tinkering around the house or training his Weimaraner puppy. Mary Ruth has been employed by the Department of Surgery since 2000, being promoted 3 times and currently holding the title of Senior Reimbursement Manager. Her role With strong skills in critical thinking, analysis, and investigation, Mary is widely respected due to her attention to detail, being a relationship builder, and willingness to coach others. Mary is committed to both organizational excellence and growth and continuous personal development, having recently received her MBA. Mary, thank you for your dedication to MCW and the Department of Surgery. Meg Shannon Stone began her role with MCW as a cardiothoracic nurse specialist and became a nurse practitioner in 1997. Over Meg's 30 years, she has had significant impact on countless patients and their families' lives. Meg is widely recognized by many as the preeminent inpatient nurse practitioner, receiving one of the early APN awards for excellence in patient care, and served as lead APP in the Department of Surgery for several years. She has worked with some 26 different cardiothoracic surgeons at MCW and served as mentor to many advanced practice providers. Congratulations, and thank you for your 30 years of dedicated service, Meg. Most recently, Ann Kolbach-Mandel has been working with the Division of Colorectal Surgery and assisting in evaluating postoperative changes that occur following rectal cancer resections. Previously, Ann worked with a kidney stone research group for nearly all her time at MCW. Her skills-based education at Alverno College, graduate studies at both MCW and UWM, as well as her efforts at self-development, has allowed her to be creative intellectual partner in her research endeavors. She's also become a resource for the entire stone research community, both nationally and globally. Her efforts in mentoring students, residents, fellows have contributed in making MCW an exemplary place to train. Ann is kind and caring, epitomizing what one would want in a coworker. Ann, we are pleased and honored to recognize you at your 35th anniversary of service to the Medical College of Wisconsin. The Division of Pediatric Congenital Cardiac Surgery applauds the determination and effort of Ji-Dong Su, demonstrated during her 20 years of service to the Medical College of Wisconsin, working with Professor John Baker. During that time, Ji-Dong conducted technically demanding and rewarding work that led to the translation of basic science findings in the laboratory into successful clinical trials. Thank you for being such a valuable member of the team. On behalf of the Endocrine Surgery Program and the Division of Surgical Oncology, congratulations to Kara Doffick on her 30 years at MCW. Kara has been an invaluable member to the team. Her professionalism and her dedication to their work within our research program has laid the foundation of the success of so many students, residents, and fellows, and faculty. We are both honored and fortunate to have Kara as a member of our team. Anna Purdy has provided exceptional care to benign, high-risk, and cancer patients for almost 3 decades at Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Anna has had a far-reaching and long-standing impact on the care of our patients in our community and has touched the lives of thousands of patients throughout her career. She is an integral member of the community, dedicating personal time to several breast cancer nonprofit groups. She has volunteered her time to the Wisconsin Breast Cancer Show House and the American Cancer Society, while also serving on the grant review committees of the Susan G. Komen Foundation and the Clinical Advisory Board of ABCD. Anna is also an outstanding educator who seeks to pass on the best aspects of her practice to the next generation, working on national committees that set the standards for nurse practitioners in oncology. The Division of Surgical Oncology is honored to have had the privilege of working with such a devoted and passionate individual. Thank you for your service, and congratulations, Anna.
On behalf of the department, I'd like to congratulate Mary Wendorf on her 20 years of service. Mary has been a part of the urology family for her entire MCW career, supporting the adult clinical practice. Mary is the go-to person for many because she is smart, diligent, and unselfish. It's also because she's just a wonderful person. Her coworkers and I are incredibly fortunate to have her on our team. It's an honor and a pleasure to work with her. Thank you, Mary. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of this year's honorees, including Jane Brennan Nelson for 40 years and Carrie Goodlin for 45 years. What an accomplishment. And thank you all for joining us today virtually to celebrate your milestone. I will now turn the program back to Dr. Raymond to close out our ceremony.
What we've heard today about our honorees goes well beyond the expectations of mere job performance. Your willingness to reach out to assist others, be they department colleagues, individuals beyond the workplace, or those in need in our communities, demonstrates your commitment to excellent customer service and your dedication to the missions of MCW. This noble, diverse, and inclusive workforce represents the very best of MCW and the best of our community. I want to congratulate each and every one of you on this special day. And lastly, I would like to thank you for your leadership, empathy, and trust in science and fact as we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for being champions of rationality and for being caring, compassionate, and supportive of your colleagues and your communities throughout the last 11 months. Congratulations and have a great evening.